Hello, Dr. Hawkins.
Hi, Keith. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us to talk a little bit with us and a little bit about the DIPG DMG Collaborative grant that you have coming up. I'd like to, with your blessing, have our group talk to you first. We'll start out with Carrie from the Cure Starts Now Canada to talk a little bit about your grant.
Great.
Hi, Cynthia. It's an honor to finally meet you. For 4 years to get to this place. And on behalf of the 27 foundations of DIPG Collaborative, we would like to present you with $100,000 US to the methionine study.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you.
And I would like to introduce Phil Tan.
Yeah. Hi, Cynthia. Yeah, my name is Phil Tan, and I was at the DIPG Symposium last November. I don't think we met, but I saw your talk on methionine restriction, and it was very interesting to me. I'm a DIPG dad. My son Xavier left us just 4 months ago, so it's pretty fresh. But back when I saw your presentation, he was into it for over a year, and I wish I had known about methionine back then. Maybe I would have started a special diet for him, but we did use, we did change our diets as well, in the battle, and we think that helped a lot. I'm a biologist, a PhD level scientist, so I try to learn all I can about this disease, and I'm really supportive of finding metabolic vulnerabilities to this disease and then exploiting those vulnerabilities using synthetic lethality approaches as you're proposing to do. So I'm really happy that you're continuing this work, and excited for what will come out of it in the future. And congratulations. And I'll turn it over to Lindsay Walper, the Vice President of the Cure Starts Now Canada.
Hi, Cynthia. It's a pleasure to meet you. My sister is Carrie, and we started this because of Liam, which is my sister's son. And it's exciting to see what results you can have to challenge this disease. And sorry, I'm nervous. We're just a tremendous supporter of yours, and I'm so excited that we can do this for you. So I will turn this back to Keith and just listen to what you have to say.
Well, and that's obviously the connection with this. Obviously there's the Canadian connection. We want to make sure that that support and frankly, the research and the great research that you're doing is really built up and has kind of this local support there. In addition to obviously our wonderful admiration for everything that you've done over the years, is one of our most awarded grantees through the Cure Starts Now and the DIPG Collaborative. And also our medical advisory committee. So you've been part of that from the very beginning of it too. We're tremendously appreciative of your wisdom. With this grant, I don't know if you would be able to talk a little bit about the impact of it, maybe give us a brief synopsis so that we can pass it on to other families that may be in this fight, or even foundations that are interested in it, for maybe a minute or so. Is that something you can brief us on?
Absolutely. So first, I really want to say thank you so much to Carrie and Lindsay and Phil. I know that it's a lot of work that you guys go through to try to raise money, and I want you to know that we're super appreciative of that. And it really does, and I know you probably hear this, but it really does allow us to go after some kind of out of the box ideas, things that maybe the big national funding agencies wouldn't look at, but we think are really great ideas. And so that's where this kind of money really comes in, like a very important part of the way that we try to build our whole DIPG program. So I've known Keith for a long time. I think we originally had a meeting here in Toronto. It's got to be getting close to 20 years ago. We've been building a program here in Toronto for a long time. We have quite a number of different projects, so trying to aim at DIPG from a lot of different angles. But this one is one that I think is really particularly interesting. I think a lot of the data that we've been generating over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, where we look at, you know, the protein in DIPG, the RNA, like all different aspects, a lot of things are now pointing towards metabolism, as Phil said. And I think this for me was it's a nice way, I think, again, not probably the only way that we can treat DIPG, but I think going after these metabolic things is going to be a really important piece of the puzzle. And so what we were able to do with the first grant we had from the DMG Collaborative was really prove that there is an effect of restricting methionine, at least in a cell culture model and in animals. We can slow down the growth of DIPG just by changing their diet, which to me is pretty amazing. But we know that's not the only thing. We know that curing DIPG is going to require more than one approach. So here, what we're trying to do is say, okay, what can we combine a methionine restricted diet with to try to move that bar even further? So can we, extend the life of the mice even longer, or ideally even cure the mice by combining things with the methionine restriction? So the idea is to screen through a whole bunch of other drugs that we think will work well in combination with methionine, pick our top ones, and then test those in the animals.